In this video, we're going to take a look at a knife from the new Dirty by Design series from the folks at Pathfinder Knife Shop. That's the new Pathfinder Mountain Lion. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So the folks at the Pathfinder Knife Shop were kind enough to send me one of their new Dirty by Design series mountain lion designs, and it's a really cool knife. And we're going to talk about the specs of this and get to doing some of that knife stuff. Before we do, I'm kind of out here in the woods for a change instead of in the old backyard. The knife doesn't know the difference, but I do and you do. And I just kind of thought I had an opportunity to get out here. I thought it'd be cool to do something a little different. Before we get started about the knife, along the way back here, I happened to encounter a little slithery, scaly friend. I just happened to look down and see this. I thought I'd click the camera on. And what I think is really interesting about this is that I really had to get close before the snake was actually even appeared to notice my presence. But then if you notice its tail, it's kind of like almost simulating a rattlesnake on the leaves. So I just think stuff like that's pretty cool, pretty interesting. So anyway, let's get back to the knife now. Let me tell you a little bit about the specs of this thing, and then we'll get to doing some of that knife stuff. Okay, first of all, let's just take a look at this thing. As you can see, they kind of left the forge marks on it, which I think is pretty cool. Like all of Dave's knives, I mean, he's told me himself that he makes these things to use. They're not wall hangers, but I do think it's kind of a cool look. Let's talk about this thing real quickly. It features a 5 3/8 inch long blade of 3/16 inch thick 1095 high carbon steel with a really sharp 90-degree spine on it. The overall length of this knife is approximately 10 1/4 inches or so, and it weighs about 9.1 ounces. Let me get that where you can see it. And it has a really nice Scandi grind on it. Not only does it have the Dirty by Design and the kind of the forged coloring left on it, but it's also got canvas micarta handles, which is a little bit of a departure. Some of the first ones had wooden handles. The price of these knives are about $109, $110, something like that. Add another $35 for this just a really nice leather sheath, brings it up to what, about $145 for this really high quality, very well made knife. $50 or so gets you a Kydex sheath. So the fit and finish on this knife is exceptionally good. I mean, this is as good as any knife I've seen, costing well over $200. The grind is, here, I'll just give you a quick look at the grind on that thing. If it'll focus, it's exceptionally even. You can look all the way down. Look at the back of it. You can always tell from the tip too, kind of very, very even grind. Just everything, again, super smooth, very comfortable micarta handle. And just everything about this just screams quality. It's a very well made, very nice knife. Nothing shabby at all about it. Like I said, it's got a fully lined lanyard hole there. Fit and finish as good as, you know, $200 to $300 knives that I've seen. So it's a pretty good size. The blade is kind of reminiscent to me of the old what is it, the PSK maybe, that Dave, I first saw on one of his videos years ago. I really liked that blade shape, kind of a drop point, the point kind of dead center of the handle. So very usable handle. It's got kind of a little finger groove here, and then you can also chuck up on it, kind of do 2-finger chopping or whatever. It's not a huge chopper, but it's kind of an all-purpose knife. Again, really sharp spine. So there's that. So instead of me rambling on here, I'm going to show you, let me just show you where we're at, and kind of, what I thought I'd try to do is just kind of use this thing for some actual knife stuff in the woods, like you might have to do if you're setting up a camp or if you're surviving or whatever. And kind of where we're at, I'm going to take you off the tripod just for a minute and kind of show you where we're at. So when I show you, I have to notice as I'm here in a kind of a nice clear spot here, and you can look around, you can kind of see that it is I found a little clear, and I was trying to find something I could chop on and bang on a little bit, and I found this kind of a log right down here that's kind of there, and it's dead. It's pretty hard, it's not rotten, so that should work pretty good to test on. But I also noticed, I thought I'd give you a little tip here. If you're looking for a campsite, you might see this nice clearing here. and think, wow, that's a great place to camp. But always look up, because if you look up there, what you'll see is those are called widowmakers, and basically they're just dead limbs, ready to fall at any time. You already got one that's fallen on the ground behind us here, so just if you're looking for a place to camp, make sure you look up. That's my point. So anyway, let me kind of readjust the camera here now, and we'll get to doing some nice stuff. Okay, so what I thought I'd do first, set that out of the way. Just found this kind of, hopefully it's kind of dry. Do a little bit of light chopping. This is, again, not a huge chopper, but we'll try to chop something off here that we can start working with and do something different with. So just want to try and see how well it works. This is pretty dry wood, though. I think a Scandi grind is probably not the best chopping grind, but I find it's a pretty good all-around grind, to be honest with you. What this also does is maybe kind of test the strength of the edge. It's got a really, really sharp edge on it. And just to show you, let me just can you see that right there? That's pretty stinking sharp. All right, so I'm going to chop this other little end off here, see if we can make some feathers out of this thing and get it where you can see it. A little closer view than the first time. And it's actually doing pretty good holding it right there with these two fingers, just kind of on that little flared end. Not too bad. So let's just see what happens if we try to do some carving here. I don't know how well it's going to work, because I don't really have a very good spot to bear down on, but maybe we can do this right here and kind of give us a little spot. So let's just see what happens. Let me carve off. Try and get down to the some actual wood there instead of the barkish colored wood. Not the best wood to make feathers out of. Kind of crumbly, as you can see. Let's just see if we can split it out a little bit. Maybe get some better feathers. Now, I could be doing this with the edge pointing towards me. Probably be more efficient, but I really don't want to take a chance. So we'll set that aside for a minute. Let's see if we can do some feathers on this a little better with a little bit of better. See how rotted kind of looking on the inside that is? Not the greatest feather wood, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Okay, so I'm not too thrilled with that, but the wood's not really great. But also bear in mind it is a 3/16 inch thick knife, so you know it's pretty much an all-around purpose knife. So there's always going to be trade-offs. So I think for the strength you might trade off a little bit of finesse, but it's doing just fine. This wood is really not great wood to make feathers out of, but it's doing okay. So we'll try something different now. We'll take this other little piece that I cut off and let's check out the spine and see what the spine will do. So there is kind of like pretty cool there, a little furriness going on. So let's try something a little different now. Okay, so I got my water here just in case, although even though it has been raining, I don't want to take any chances. I got my XL Tack Poly Striker XL here. We're just going to see if, I don't even know if this wood's dry enough to but it should be fine. I don't know if it's dry enough to strike a spark, but I know. Let's just see. Oh man. Not really dry wood at all, but don't have any of the old fat wood with me. I probably do, but I'm trying to see if I could survive without it. It's just what we found around here in the environment. And yes, we got some fire going here. If we take this, so we could get a fire going, even with just what kind of wood we found laying around. So you can see we got a fire there. So not too shabby. So let's put that thing out, because we don't want to catch anything on fire. And try one more thing. Okay, what I've got here is a really crappy little tinder bundle, but it's just for demonstration purposes only. Using what I've got, I'm going to set that to the side here. And I've also got some char cloth and a piece of flint. I'm going to take a piece of char cloth and I'm going to sit it right here. I'll take a piece of flint and get it away. Take the knife. Now this is what Dave told me to do when using a knife with flint and steel. Instead of striking the flint with the steel, to basically pin the char cloth with a knife and then just hit down on it and try to drag the sparks down onto it. So we'll just see how well that works. Find a nice sharp edge on this thing here. Uh-oh, I got it. Set to the side. Move you out of the way. Alright, so you can see that. We got it burning. Take this really horrible excuse for a tinder bundle. Basically it's some dead leaves and some, I tried to find some grass and stuff, but I couldn't. Some dead leaves, pine straw. Let me just turn you up here and we'll see if we can blow this sucker into a flame. There we go. Ow, burn my hands. Okay, so let me put it out. Okay, so I guess we can call that one a success. So what I wanted to do with this knife is just bring it out into the woods and try to use it in kind of real world conditions. So basically just using the stuff you could find around here, no prepared tinder except for the char cloth and the flint. No fat wood or anything, and just see if we can get a fire going, because again, as I've said many times, I think the ability to have a fire is probably the #1 thing that you can have going for you if you do get trapped in a survival situation or just in a playing in the woods situation. So that's the kind of like the real world test. The one thing I was unable to find out here in the wilderness is a balance, orientation, and rotation device. As you know, at Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters, we maintain a state-of-the-art, cutting-edge knife testing facility. So I think it would be probably it would just be remiss for me not to take this thing back to the old worldwide headquarters and put it through the balance test apparatus. So we'll take a look at that next and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so we are back here now at the cutting edge testing facility at Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters, and we're going to put the Pathfinder Knife Shop mountain lion through the balance, orientation, rotation device and just do a little scientific testing on this thing. Alright, we're going to call her balanced. I got to say, I think this is I've said it several times, so I might as well say it one more time. I think this is a really good knife for the money. Again, this knife comes in around 110 bucks or so for the knife, plus maybe another 35 for a leather sheath, another 50 for a Kydex sheath. So still around the $150 mark maximum with the sheath, 160 bucks for a knife that in my opinion, compares very well for knives costing at least double that. And it's just very well made. The fit and finish is absolutely excellent. I just think that they're doing a really good job of putting out a really high quality product at a really reasonable price over at the Pathfinder Knife Shop. I really like the Dirty by Design. I really like this style in general. It's just a very usable knife. So anyway, just gonna thanks to the folks at the Pathfinder Shop and to Dave Canterbury for sending me this knife so I could show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and every Saturday, and very often random videos. So throughout the week, you can check out another one right there. If you're not subscribed, please click down in the corner when you take whatever screen it takes you to. Click that little bell, and you can get notified whenever I put out a new video. I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared.